For this problem, I'm going to open up the Help Me Solve This and show how we can use that to work through and get the solution. It gives us the simple interest formula. If we go through the steps here, it reminds us that R, the interest rate R, is the unknown value we're going to try to solve for. And the problem is going to tell us, these details up here, tell us the interest, the principal, and the time. So we'll be able to figure out all the letters here except for R. And then we'll use algebra to solve for R. So the scenario here is we walk into the company, we hand them $35, they give us the money. 64 days later, we're going to pay them that money back. It's just a loan. So that money, that extra we had to pay them, that's the definition of what interest is. So we had to give them that extra money to borrow. We gave them that 35 extra, and they let us borrow then the 1394, the principal. And how long do they let us borrow it? Time should be in years. Time should be in years whenever you use the simple interest formula. And so we borrowed it for 64 days, which part of a year is it? That would be 64 out of the 360ths of a year. And if you want to reduce that, I think it comes out to 8 over 45. Yeah. So now our simple interest formula, we have all the values identified except for R, the interest, the principal, and the time. So we just need to use algebra now to solve for R. And something I want to show you here about this guided solutions, if you didn't know a step, you don't have to just stop using it. You'd enter it once, it tells you it's wrong. Enter something else, it tells you it's wrong. But then it'll let you move on. So you could actually get all the way through the end of the guided solution without really understanding the step-by-step, but then you could see the whole thing and maybe it would all make sense then. So don't get hung up if one of these steps, one of these questions you didn't know how to answer. So I'm going to jump in and show this algebra on a separate document just so you could see that worked out in case you have a question about that. So we have our formula. If we divide both sides by 1394, we'll get to this line. And then R is multiplied by this, so we could divide both sides by this then to get R by itself. Remember, when you divide by a fraction, you're really multiplying by the reciprocal. So if you multiply by this on both sides, you'll get just R by itself, and you'll get this value over here. And then the problem wanted you to enter R as a percentage rounded to 3 decimal spots. So always pay attention to how many decimal spots they're round to, and also if it wants a percentage or a decimal and so on. So convert this to a percent by multiplying by 100. Moves the decimal over 2 spots, and you get that. And to flash back into Math Lab quickly, so when I enter all that in, you get the same answer in Math Lab through the Help Me Solve This. When you hit close, I've seen students do this before, I've done it myself. Don't just type that answer in right here and think you'll get it correct, because the problem will give you Math Lab will give you a very similar problem with slightly different numbers so that you can apply what you learned and Help Me Solve This and show that you actually learn and understand how to do it now. So this problem will come out to some different answer, but you'll go through the same steps to get it. But the Help Me Solve This, once you use that, it'll change the problem on you. So let me know if you have any further questions. I hope this helped.